Hey loves, let me know if you can hear me in the chat. I don't know why I didn't think to use Zoom when my YouTube was tripping. So sorry I lost some time there. It's just been one of those days, my goodness. Okay, great. I'm still admitting people into the Zoom. So y'all give me a moment to make sure everybody can get in here. I appreciate y'all so much. Man. Oh, let me see if there's anybody else. We are live. I can turn off my caps lock now. We are live on the Zoom. And I think I have you all. All right, great. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen. And honestly, I like doing these demos with you all. Yes, there is an option to record on Zoom, Danica, and it is recording right now. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. I need y'all to remind me from time to time. You usually will see the recording link up there. So let me share my screen. Here we go. There's some more folks needing to be admitted. There we go. So I think everyone should be admitted now. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the sound just in case. All right. So we in here. Thank y'all so much for being patient with me. I promise. Things have just been going just all over the place. I ain't even going to say crazy. Just all over. Just everything happening at once. So let me know if you can see my Photoshop screen here. And matter of fact, give me a 1 in the chat if you can see my Photoshop screen. And if you cannot see it, give me a 2. And then that way I'll know maybe somebody needs some help viewing the Photoshop screen. All right. So finally, it's a lot going on right now, but the two major things that I hear you all telling me that you want to learn how to do for yourself, one are hoodies, and then 2 are making up your own mock-ups. So we'll have an activity to make up your own mock-ups as well. As a matter of fact, I can't recall the name right now, but one of the creatives wanted to do a Christmas stocking and a pendant that has the angel wings on it. But if it doesn't come with templates, number one, you don't know what size to make the image and how to make that image. And number 2, you don't know how to basically mock it up. You know, if it doesn't come with a mock-up, you don't think you can mock it up. But that's going to be an activity that we do together that I think is going to be tremendous for you learning the power of Photoshop to do your mock-ups. So that's how I did this video. And this entire video, this is a more simplified version of it, but I showed you exactly how I made this template. It might be 5 hours long, but I showed you exactly how I made it on YouTube. What we're doing for the class, I noticed that for the class, we can do the same thing that I've already done on YouTube, an extended version of it. And it's not the same as actually walking through the parts and walking you through the parts. And I realized when I went through this template, very complicated. I'm not gonna lie. So I simplified it so that we can make this something that you can use on the regular. It's not too intimidating. And then on top of that, once you get the idea how this works, you can bring in photos of your own images. So let's say you have a a certain hoodie that you want to do, or a 3/4 sleeve, you know, something, or whatever the effect is. I just want you to know a long sleeve shirt. Y'all been asking me about doing long sleeve shirts, but you could basically take this style, take a photo, and bring in those images and mock those images up. So what we're learning in the class is not only how to design this, because we will be designing all these parts, but we'll also be learning how to do our own mock-up, and that's going to be the part 2 of the class. Okay, I want you all to get confident with, if there's no template for what you have, making your own mock-up and template. Okay. Okay, so this is just building. This is building on some of the concepts that, yeah, once we learn how to do a t-shirt design, that's good, that's good, and that's great. But now we're going to go into the applications of the processes. So your templates and your mock-ups are going to be 2 things that you can knock down and not be afraid of anymore. And let me go ahead. I'm going to close down this YouTube live thing right now because it's using up all my computer energy and it's not doing a darn thing. So E, if you want to keep up, just in case anybody heads onto the YouTube link, you know, stay in the chat for that. That's fine, but it's weighing down my computer and my nerves and my pinky toe at this very moment. So I'm just gonna let it go. All right. There's too much going on in the world. All right, so let me close down some of these windows so we don't overload. Okay, great. So what I'm doing for this one, and I actually have a project that I need to do for this one. So really and truly, those of you here tonight, you'll kind of get a live show of what I would do in this instance. Of course, in class, we're going to completely go step by step and teach you how to do this for yourself, and you will do it for yourself. So let me go on to remove BG. So I'm going to go ahead and get this artwork ready. So this is what you'll be doing in class. Let me see if I'm already logged in. I believe so. Go ahead and drag and drop. And see, that's a little error I was having. I was getting ready to send them people some stuff tonight. Oh, Lord. Okay, so I have a couple of photos. I'm going to see how Remove BG removes my images, because now that we're in the application of Photoshop principles, I don't like to spend a lot of time cutting things out unless that was part of the learning project for the day. So like last time, we did do cutting out when we did the socks, the Christmas socks, because I wanted to show you all how to use the pen tool to cut out somebody's face, because a program like Remove BG is not going to cleanly cut out a face. So we use the pen tool to do that. All right, so that one cut out pretty decent. Let's go ahead. I have a logo to cut out, but I already know what it's going to do for that logo. It's going to take all that white and clear all that out as well. So I'll just do that in the program. Let's see how this one does. And there's just a little bit of extraneous data back here, but I'll clean that up, no worries. Let's see. And then this one, I doubt this one even has enough of a background and is very blurred out, so I might kind of use it as a watermark, but I think it's a good image to try to cut, so we're gonna see. Okay, it cut what was most difficult, the hair, and then I'll just fade off this part into the graphic. So I'm doing my little planning in advance. I probably received about 8 to 9 photos. You know how that goes. So I just chose a few that would have decent enough resolution to work with. And I'm saying, if y'all hear that dinging, that's somebody needing to be let in. All right. And as a matter of fact, can I? Here we go. Erica, I'm gonna go ahead and let you be the host, since we don't have to do any screen sharing or anything tonight. Then that way, if anybody needs to be let in, they don't have to worry about me waiting on it. All right. Here we go. Okay. Thank you, love. I appreciate you. Okay, so let's get on into it. And y'all, please remind me when we finish this session to upload this to YouTube so that those folks who could not join us live on YouTube can at least watch the replay of how we're going to work this out. I'm showing you kind of two extreme examples, and I will probably end up making an alternate template of this with what we're doing just so that it looks different. So right now, I want you to imagine that you have to change this to whatever theme you have to change it to. In this case, we have a little mermaid, maybe like a birthday theme, or maybe just mermaids are somebody's theme. All right, so what I'm going to do is go into the only edit these smart objects, because you'll see this file is pretty intense. It's pretty large. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off my mockup. I'm going to bring up my printable graphics. And this is what I really want you to see what's going on here is this is not a full all over print. Okay. This is why I call it an all over ish. And I developed this kind of look probably a few years ago, before all over was really like big. And you know how we do in our community, we the bigger the print the better, right? So we want to see that kid that's on the basketball court, we want to see him as big as we can see him on that t-shirt because mom is real proud, or football or volleyball or the softball player. So it started off in sports, just really the parents really wanting to show off their kid, and that definitely is understandable. So we just would do things and make things oversized. So at the time we had no intentions on doing all over printing. It wasn't even so much of a thing back then, but we did a lot of oversized printing. So I'm calling this all over ish because the idea is that you minimize the number of pages that you print, but you maximize the wow factor on a white shirt, because you all know we had to convince our community when I opened up the brick and mortar store that white shirts were the ish, right? And nobody wants white shirts, especially when it comes to their own customized shirts. So what we would do really dynamic designs with sublimation. And even if we didn't print all over, we just did really cool designs, 13 by 19. And then to lure them over even further, if they wanted something that was colorful, then we would make ways to color other components of the shirt, like the sleeves, or I've even done side prints. So what you could do is you could take where it says hood sides. You don't have to put these on the hood. You can actually put those on the side of the shirt and not print the bottom of the shirt. So I've done shirts like that too, where I print the sides, put a big old 13 by 19 on the front, and bam, I'm done. So this is just a way for you to use these elements to kind of build an all over look. Okay, so once we're done, I'll show you where these go, and once you see this, you'll get creative and you'll pick other places where these graphics can go. All right, so as far as up here where it says only edit these smart objects, the reason why I say that is because all of these sections are built off of the very same smart objects. I really wanted to simplify this for you all. So what you have to do is you have to double click on the design element in order to change it. All right, so the first thing I want to change, which is setting the tone for all of my color, is this abstract aurora. So we're going to end up changing that. And I'm going to use my images here that I cut out. Oh, I didn't download them yet. Let me download these remove BG images. I really even hate wasting my high resolution credit when the image is at that high resolution, but we do what we need to do. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on designing. I'll probably make it look good enough. I just want to show you all the implications of this type of thing. And then in class, we'll go through fully making sure you change out all the elements. You have a finished product at the end of class that you can print out. All right, so before I change that, I'm actually going to change this front design. And is front design editable? Here we go. Here's where it is. I'm going to double click on it. And when you double click, you're activating this smart object. And all of a sudden, this little zoom thing popped up in my face. Let me see if I can move it. There we go. And close that one for right now. So all this is, you know, basically one of my pre-made designs here. I'm just going to take off these design elements to show you what it's really made of. And to give you some ideas of, you know, being creative when it comes to doing this type of layout. I have images clipped here. I'm gonna take those images out. And we're just gonna focus on just leaving those color splashes there and dragging our images in here. We're gonna keep it simple. 1, 2, and 3. I'm gonna drag and drop them onto the artboard. 1, hit enter, 2, enter, 3, enter. And I'm just going to drag these 3 images below the text. All right, and I'm looking for, I have so many emails. So nickname is Showtime. So that's what we're going to change the name to. I'm just going to double click here on the name. It highlights it all. I'm going to change the name to Showtime. As a matter of fact, let me undo that. Because I don't know, some of you may want the mermaid version. So what I'll do is create an alternate version so you can have either the mermaid version or the football version, and it won't matter. It'll be the same content. All right, so now edit the name of this one, Showtime. Control T, bring that in. So basically with this one, you're getting a few different templates in one. You kind of get this really basic layout for the main 13 by 19 design. So you can use this over and over again. Right? And then instead of the fill of the paper here, let me go ahead and merge that for you all. Rasterize and merge. All right, so I'm gonna turn that one off. And then I'm gonna delete this one here. Let's say I did want to replace that with a print, we'd be able to do that. But for right now, I'm just gonna let it be a color. Do my effects here. And let's go for a gradient overlay. I'm gonna go with, I think that's like a navy blue. I think they use navy blue, black, white, and gray. So, and then of course like this Carolina blue color. So I'm just picking colors from the graphic to give me what I want there. And of course, I'm gonna scroll down, make this a new gradient. Go to my stroke, and I can make that stroke the same gradient without having to remake that gradient. All right. And then I have this stroke rotated so it doesn't go the exact same angle. And instead of gold, let me do silver. So I'm gonna do an additional stroke here, do a color, make it gray. And that is a hue. Same thing here. I'm going to make a gray hue. I'm going to do a darker gray on the outside. All right, so that is good enough. And I'm actually going to copy this layer style because I know I'm going to put it onto my back here. Name for the back. I'm going to double click on that one. I like to go ahead and paste my layer styles that I know I'm going to use. So there we go. And I know this is moving a little fast, but that's why we, take our time and do this in class. I'm going to resize it, making sure nothing is hanging off here. Because as you know, your smart objects are going to update to your main artboard. So when I hit yes to save that, boom, it's going to update on my new image there. Same thing there with that number. I'm going to double click. These are all smart objects. And then I'm going to paste the layer style here. And then I will take off, well, I don't even need to, but I can take off the pattern overlay there. And yes, save that. I'm going to make sure I go ahead and save this as the football version. And already it's coming together. So you see how it's updating. When I update this back design, it's updating on the socks over here. This is actually updating on the sleeve design. So what I have is the sleeve is going to come down here and it'll have a number on the shoulder because they always ask me to put numbers on the shoulder. So we have a little place where you can do that. And of course, I'm still working on my little 13 by 19 design. The 13 by 19 design is going to set the stage for everything else. So I'm going to turn off the previous name. Make sure it looks good. And like I said, I'm not going to focus too much on placement of the images. And as a matter of fact, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this one for later because I'm going to show you how you can even add extra images. So what I do, if I wanted to do all over, I would take an image like this one and print it on the side of the shirt just to kind of give it a little something extra. So we can do it all as one design. And like I said, this is something that we take our time with in class, but we're going to go ahead and fade off this image so I can make sure nothing funky is hanging off. And we're fading off with the brush tool. And then of course, we need to recolor our splashes back there. All we have to do is go to the color overlay. I'm going to keep my mermaid color. I'm just going to add a new color. And this one will be that Carolina blue. And then the next one, same thing. I have a splash back there. I'm going to double click on the effects. Add a new color overlay. And instead of the purple, let's go with the navy. And if I wanted to add the black in here, I could make this pop out a little bit more. This stroke I could do, instead of this gradient, I could do a solid color and I could just do black. So it kind of brings that black out. So I think I'm going to keep black for that one. But you have all these options and they're all pretty much built in. Another thing with this image, it's a little grainy, so I think I'm going to pretend like I want it to be watermarked. So I'm going to bring the opacity down. And you won't really know what it looks like unless you have a white background. Let's do a white background. I'm going to fill it with white. And then I just don't like how I don't like when effects mess with people's faces. So I'm going to leave them full opacity. All right, but see how we kind of covered up that area where the other person's jersey was. So it worked out just fine. So I'm going to call this done. Now, what I do have to do is turn off this white here. Otherwise, it will show as opaque when I update the artwork. So I'm going to hit S to save. Tori, good question. Is the font with the template? This is, yes, this font comes with the template. This is one of my fonts. And if it's not a font that's one of my fonts, then usually it's a free font from somewhere online, the font or some other free font. So usually I'll tell you the free font when you register for the class. It'll tell you what fonts to download ahead of class and make sure you have them installed. So that's looking like that's it. Like I said, that's one of those little 10-minute template deals. It's done. Okay. Now the next thing is we're going to change out, like I said, this kind of abstract design here. And I'm going to change it out. I don't want to change it out from down here. I really want to change everything from the folder that says only edit these smart objects. Okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead and change this abstract design here. And all it is a few color overlays. It's already designed. You don't have to do the guesswork. You can turn things on and off that you want to. So you have these paint splashes here. I'm going to leave them on there. And then what you can do is you can bring over an image. You can always bring over an image that has the colors in it. And that's just kind of my way. I will either usually have a color palette or I'll bring an image in that I can kind of pick colors from. That just makes it easier for me. There's no need to make anything harder for you. What I would suggest is that you delete it afterwards because every photo that you bring in holds data, and that data can make your file huge. All right, so let's see. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to leave the white for this front one. I like the little white there. This one happens to be a little gradient, so I'm going to double click on the gradient, and I'm going to create a new gradient. There we go. I just replaced it with the colors we already chose before. Easy peasy. Same thing with this one. Now, even if I choose the same gradient, it doesn't have to look the same. You can rotate the gradient to make it look like it's a totally different setup. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead. This one is a color overlay, and it's that teal color. So I'm going to double click that color overlay, and we'll duplicate it and switch it up. So it looks like we have a lot of the lighter teal. Going in. I'll put the navy there, and then the final one, I'm going to turn the glitter off because you can't see it right now, but there's a little bit of glitter in here. That was covering where some of those splashes are, but I'm going to take the glitter off and let just the color overlay show through. And it's automatically black, but if you want to make sure it's black or change the color, you just create a new color overlay, choose your color. That is black, that's pure black there. And then I'm going to go ahead and delete this image because I have the colors that I want. Turn that green off. And when I close this out and hit yes to save, it's going to update. All right, so that kind of already did the do for the majority of what I'm going to print and lay out. I can see here that my mascot's still there that needs to be changed out. I also have this little area down here where you can either do a pattern or you can do a gradient. So let me show you how that works out there. So this is the bottom border, and I also use this to print at the bottom of the sleeves because usually with long sleeves, the issue is you can get those bottom of those sleeves dirty just by leaning on things and touching things throughout the day. So it doesn't look so dingy. You don't have to worry about keeping the sleeve clean if you kind of print on it a little bit. So here we go. Let's see. Doesn't a Jaguar print? Jaguar kind of has spots, but I want to make sure it's not, there's a difference between leopards and cheetahs, spots. I mean, I'm sure people don't really care about that, but I do. I have to be real literal when I'm saying I'm doing something. Okay. So let's just say I'm going to do a Jaguar print. I don't know what this is. Looks like something I can use. Let me open the image in a new tab. This is big enough to use. Save image as. Now, usually I would look for a print. Like I said, I'm just doing this on the fly, but I would look for a seamless Jaguar print. So that's going to be your job in class. I'm going to tell you what you need to do and what you need to come to class with, and you're going to come to class with it. So you're going to take that Jaguar print, and I'm going to pull it into here. And basically my job is to fade it to where one image looks like it's going into the next. So I'm going to cheat just a little bit by making this a little bit bigger, be less to fade off. And then what we're going to learn in class, as a matter of fact, let's go ahead, let's just do it on here. We're going to fade this from left to right. So I'm going to do a layer mask. I'm going to choose my gradient tool, make sure I have black to transparent. And I'm going to start from the inside me, go in, drop it. Start from the inside me, go in, drop it. Bam, that's it. And then that way, when I get ready to duplicate this, I'm going to hold down Alt, duplicate it. It's a lot less conspicuous as far as the fact that you overlap it. So now I have 3 of them all together. I can take those 3 and overlapping them there. And now I'm going to take all of these, I'm going to rasterize and merge them. And of course, we're going to do this in class too. So if this is going fast, that's because it's supposed to. All right, so now this is going to be my new print layer, but I want it to fade up. I don't like hard lines. Y'all know me, I don't like hard lines. So I'm going to drag it below the scales, and then I'm going to turn the scales off. And all of a sudden, bam, I have my leopard print. Now, I think I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do a color overlay because I want these to be blue. I'm going to stick with my colors here. And as a matter of fact, I'll probably do a gradient overlay and choose that gradient that we did before. Okay. And then I'm going to change the blend mode of my print. And I never know what the blend modes are going to do, so I just go down the blend modes till I get the reaction that I want out of it. Screen is kind of giving it to me, but if you can't tell, still has some of that brown in there, and I don't want that. You know what? I'm going to do something else that I haven't taught you how to do yet. I'm going to do... let's do gradient overlay. We'll choose the gradient that we just made. And then we'll change the blend mode. Let's do hue. And then I'm gonna make sure I drop it right on top of there. And then I can take that gradient overlay off. And let's see, is it going to gray down there? I think I want to switch it. It's a little purpley. I guess the gray in his jersey was a little purpley and I don't like it. And let's bring this blue away from the purple a little bit. And that'll work for me. Let's see, I'm going to save everything and check it out. Okay, little subtle leopard print. I think I want my print to be a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna make my print smaller by just doubling it up. I resized it, and then I'm gonna just bring a version of that over. Let's see if I like that better. I think I like the smaller print better. Okay, cool. Looks good. All right, so this is going to go on the sleeves. Next things next, I'm going to do my mascot image. Now you don't have to do the mascot image. You can actually turn the mascot image off, like so. And it'll turn it off everywhere you saw the mascot. Here on the sleeves, here on the socks. Okay, so we're going to activate it again. And instead of the course, I think I did get sent a mascot. Let me go with this one. And of course, it's not the best resolution, but you know, I'm gonna work with it. Ordinarily, I would take something like this and vector it, make sure it's good. Let me choose contiguous here because I want to select all the touching parts. Then I'm going to clean up my selection, smooth it out a little bit. Okay, and instead of cutting that stuff out, I'm just going to do a quick layer mask. I lied. I need to select the inverse first and then do a quick layer mask. And now, if I hit yes to save, all of the areas that had the mascot are updated. Okay, so let's see what else. The only other thing I need to do is I'm going to copy the layer style for the name here. And then I'm going to paste it on this Fin Life. Click copy layer style. And then we'll go to Fin Life. Which is the text for the hood. And let me, oh, matter of fact, you know what? I already have it on here. I thought I did. Let me bring it up top. All right, so text for the hood. I'm gonna bring a copy up here. So you never have to open this folder down here. You won't. All right, so let's double click on this smart object, change that out. Paste layer style. There we go. Oh, you know what? I changed it somewhere. I know where I changed it. I changed it here, Showtime. Let's copy this layer style instead. Copy layer style and paste layer style. Boom, there we go. I just wanted that text to stick out more because it's such a light color blue. It needs something to contrast. All right, so I can close that one out. I'm going to paste layer style on this one. There we go. All right, and I think I'll put the name on the back of this one too. Let's see. So the number is going to be 1, and I think we'll just put Showtime on the back too. And if she wants to do something else, I'm sure she'll let me know. There we go. And this font, I think, is the Living 90s font. So you'll get that font for free with this course. Uh-oh, did I not save it? I think I forgot to press save before I closed out. And I think some of us learned that lesson. I don't know why I'm laughing, because it's not funny when you don't save. So let me save it here. There it goes. And then this one. Going to delete it. Oh, I know what I did. The reason why I did those as separate is because sometimes you want to have one text down one side of the hood and another text on the other. So that's why I was trying to figure out why I didn't make these the same. So let's do last name on the other side. So we're going to definitely paste the layer style again. And this time, put the last name. Or we can put the team mascot. That's popular too. So then that way, what I'm trying to get you into too, if you have to edit this, let's say the whole squad, because what'll happen is you show off for one parent, the other parent's going to want it. And you don't want to have too many areas that are so customizable that you end up wrecking your brain, pressing the wrong name on the wrong shirt and so forth. So usually I will have one area that I change out, and the other areas are pretty generic. So I'm gonna move this. Move that up a little bit. Actually, what I should have done, instead of moving it, I should have moved my smart object because it's not centered. There we go. All right, so the only thing that I would be changing for my customers is, of course, their 13 by 19 design. Let's say I was doing this for the entire team, then I would change out the number here. So the number is right here. I'll change it. I'll just make it a number 1. That's its number. And then I'll paste this layer style. Make that a number 1 instead. And that's kind of our jersey style there. All right, so see how those ones change on the socks and on the sleeves? That was the hard part, believe it or not. That's pretty much what my layout would look like. Now I would have to mock that up. And this is where we're going to get into the nitty gritty. Okay, this seemed like the hard part. The other part is it's just that you have to follow closely and make sure that that you're making your printable pieces. It's all good to show a mock-up, but the idea is that you're able to actually show this as a tried and true printable version. So if I were to cut all of this off right now, including the sweater there, I have everything that I need to print. So that's front and back, that's 2 sheets. If you're going to print on the long sleeves, that's 1 sheet. So I kind of squished them in. You have to cut around there real careful. But if you cut around there real careful, you can get 2 sleeve prints to a shirt. Then of course, if you're going to do the socks, this uses up a lot less ink than printing full color on the socks, but you'll have this ready to go too, and you can always upsell them on a pair of socks. I guarantee you, especially when you show it to them already mocked up, okay? Next, if you're going to print the hood sides, you may decide not to print on the side of the hoodie because that's 2 extra presses, another sheet of paper, and you have to charge accordingly. For the body, the bottom of the shirt, this is actually 2 13x19 tiles. And then what you have to do if you're going to print it front and back, that's actually 4 13x19 tiles. So you want to be aware of that. If you're going to print the bottom sleeves, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. See how I fade up from the bottom of the sleeves here? That kind of allows you just to have some color down there. You don't have to have it, okay? So I'm going to show you, if you didn't need to have this stuff on here, what each of these areas really do. So if you don't have socks, you can actually just turn off the socks image and you only focus on the hoodie for the hood accent, and you'll be changing these out, okay? So you'll change out those images. Let's say you're not going to print on the hood. You can see, hey, does it make that much of a difference? Do I want to do all that pressing? All right, the next thing is the bottom of the sleeves. That's not necessary there. So you can take the sleeve gradients, turn them off. And this is the most simplified version of it. Actually, let me turn this off too, okay? So the most simplified version is you say, hey, I'm going to print your 13x19 and I'm going to print something on these sleeves. But you build on that. And I want you to understand that every time you build on it, you're also, that's another print, another press. So these sleeves, the bottom of the sleeves, if we wanted to add those back on, that's 1 and 2 sheets, because you can use one sleeve, wrap around most sleeves of the hoodie. Now, if you're doing, you know, 2X's, 3X's, 4X's, you may not be able to get one sheet. You may have to print out 2 sheets to wrap around the sleeves. That's going to be up to the size of the hoodie that you get. Let's see. So let's say, okay, I did kind of like it when it was colored at the bottom because it made me feel like it wasn't a white hoodie. Then you're going to know that's 2 sheets right there and 2 more sheets. Oh, I'm sorry, that actually goes across the top. You could do the same thing if you wanted to make it look all over from the top. But we're going to stick with just this bottom. As a matter of fact, I'm going to delete that one. All right, so just the bottom here. So that added 4 more sheets. So now you had 1. These sleeves are on 1 sheet of paper, so that's 2 sheets. Then the sleeves are each a sheet. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then 5, 6, 7, 8 if you're doing the front and the back of these. And then you have your hood up here. These 2 make up 1 other sheet. You see how this can build? So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, back is 7, 8, and then this is 9. But with 9 sheets of paper, you can pretty much fill this whole thing out. And then of course, if you want to put an image on the back, which is the number. So I don't even do a whole nother mock-up. You could take a picture of the back of your hoodie if you want to and make a back like that. I just got a little lazy, said I'm not redesigning this for the back. But this is what the back would look like. So that'd be a total of 10 prints. And for 10 prints, you made it look like you did an all over hoodie. All right, so that's it. And like, let's say that you want to show them, hey, this is my premium hoodie mock-up. This is my premium hoodie. This is 10 sheets. So normally I don't charge, I don't charge less for presses. I just don't. I feel like it's more of an opportunity to mess something up. If I'm doing a front and back, just regular t-shirt, I'm usually charging my customers even 13x19s without an artwork fee, somewhere around 20, 22, I think is what I tell them for front. No, that's if they're doing the same design for multiple shirts. So usually I'll do 18 for front only and 28 front and back. But let's say they want to do all these extra presses, then I would probably charge at least, you know, get something for your time. This is a lot of printing and a lot of work. So maybe at least $7 per print and press, so that it's worth your time. because you can just sell front and back shirts all day and not have all the labor. And you're risking messing up a hoodie. So when you mess up a t-shirt, yeah, you replace the t-shirt for, you know, $4 to $6, no biggie. But a hoodie, you're paying like $20, sometimes $25 for these hoodies. And if you happen to mess one up, then you got to replace that hoodie. So you want to make sure that it's, you know, worth your time and energy, and it definitely will stand out. There definitely won't be a lot of people doing it. And, you know, for those of you who do have all of, like, truly all over printers, or you want to send these to be all over printed, you can, and basically end up cutting those pieces out. But I don't have, this is not an all over hoodie. I know everybody thought it was, but it's not. If I really and truly wanted it to make it an all over hoodie, I can show you how I can make that part of the mock-up. I would get new layer, my bad. Let me do a new solid color layer. And in this case, I'm just going to pick pink here. I'm going to right click and create a clipping mask so it clips the shirt here. As a matter of fact, I have to bring it below my graphics, but I'm going to delete that layer mask. I'm going to control select this, then create a new layer mask. There she goes. And then I'll take this and drag it underneath all of my images, pretend like it's the background. And then I can color this whatever color I want. See how it's coloring the hoodie? But more than likely, I'm not gonna do all that. If that's the case, I would have, you know, designed it all over the first place, and I would definitely, ooh, please, if you do all overs, charge for that. Okay. But like I said, that's not what we're gonna work on. Or let's say you needed to show them on a different color. You can kind of choose a different color. In that case, I would bring it up to the top and show them. This would be a multiply effect. Like, let's say you were starting with this light teal instead of white. You can actually show that it multiplies and you won't get those clean colors. But that's it. I know I'm saying it simply, like that's it, but it is a lot. So let me show you all what we're going to be doing when we get ready to print, and I'm going to stay and wait for you all to get to the printable part of this, because the hard part is once you get these together. Yes, I want you to see that you have these 13 by 19 sections here, and they're nice and labeled, but that's not what and how you're going to print. You're actually going to turn the labels off there. And then you'll end up, I'm going to show you how to create your own little section. So we're going to end up saving this as a JPEG and then just printing. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can show you an example real quick. I have this nice big old artboard. And what did I save that just now? Uh-oh. That's a JPEG. So this is what I'll be printing from. I want you to see how big this canvas size is right now. It's 74 inches by 63 inches. This is a big boy file, okay? But it allows me to, when I get ready to print, I can go to File, Print, and as long as my settings are straight, so we're gonna make sure our settings are straight. With my 13 by 19 true colors, bam, there I go. I'm just gonna move this around. I'm not overcomplicating this. I want to print one of these. You see, those are my socks there. So I actually would end up printing 2 sets of those, because you want to print the socks front and back, unless they just want the front of the socks printed because they want to be cost effective. Then you let them do that. I'm actually gonna come down here and change my top to 0, 0. So I can get what's up there. So those would be my sleeves, right? And I'm not resizing this. I want this to print exact size. This will be the back graphic. Easy, 13 by 19. This would be the side of my hoodie. Okay. Then I have my front graphic right there. Bam, I would print that, done. Now, as far as the other pieces, these pieces need to go landscape. So we'll go to landscape. You would go ahead and print that one right there as is. Boom. Those are going to be your sleeves. You'll print two of those. And then as far as this one, you want to print with a little bit of overlap here. So we're going to print this side. And I would rather come butt up to this edge here because all of this is bleed down here. And then when you move it over and you butt this side up, you get your overlap there. So that's the bottom. And I believe that's it. Easy as that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that's all over-ish. Let's see. Tori, yes. Okay, so this one is going to be a class, and this is what I'm starting to do with the more complicated and the walkthrough classes is I reduce the price. It used to be $50 for the recording class. I make the recordings $30 now. I really, really, really want this to be very affordable for you all. So what'll happen is we'll do the live class. If you are a part of the academy with the VIP membership and you're available on Sundays, 7 p.m., then we do live classes, okay? And you have the opportunity to do every single live class that you can possibly attend that I offer with the $60 membership. And normally that's about four courses per month, okay? So let's say, for instance, we said we're gonna do this one on Sunday, 7 p.m. And I'm so sorry, last Sunday didn't work out. And today didn't, like, it's been crazy. But I'm not gonna make excuses, I'm just gonna be here for you, okay? So this Sunday, we're going to do this class, and it'll be available for $60 for those who are not members. But if you are a $60 VIP member, you get a coupon that you can use to redeem for this course to take it for free, okay? That means you also get it ahead of schedule because this course will eventually unlock in your arsenal. This is course number 117. So depending on where you are, if you're going to unlock it anyway and you can't take the live class, then it's going to unlock for you when 117 unlocks. So if you've been a part of the academy from the beginning, it's probably going to unlock the moment that I make it available. If you just joined the academy last week, then it's probably going to take you how many weeks? 5, probably 12 weeks to open this course up. So you also have the option to pay $30 to get immediate access to the course with the templates and all, okay? So I understand, Tori. Tori says her hard drive is slower and she can't do the Zoom and run Photoshop at the same time. I completely understand. So sometimes it's not worth it to do the live class with the Photoshop file because this is a big boy file. I'm letting you know that right now. So the best you probably want to do is just go ahead and if you're the VIP member, let it unlock for you. And if you want to just come to the live just to watch it, then all I'm asking is that if you're going to come to the live, then you actually, or you're going to redeem your code to come to the live, that you actually come to the live. So I don't want people just saying they're going to join the live just to get the files and then they're not partaking in the class, because the entire point is to have real life interaction, because that makes it really, really helpful. It makes it a lot more helpful than what I just did, because I could do everything perfect and not mess up and you'll be like, wait a minute, Shannon, that's not how it went for me. So y'all are telling me that it helps you to go through the videos where you see the students actually going through the measures of going through everything from changing out the pictures to changing out the text to cutting out an image or cleaning stuff up, fixing a lot of issues. I like to call it me pulling them out the mud. If you get stuck, I can pull you out the mud and you're not feeling defeated, okay? So that's the point of it. I know I'm making it look, sort of easy how we're going through it right now. And once you start doing, especially these templates, you're going to learn something new every time. We're going to teach you a new technique. There's going to be something else that you can add to your Photoshop tool belt. But a beginner can do this class, and then some of my more advanced students are still taking the 100 level courses and learning something every single time. So absolutely, Tori, if you can, even if you can't do it with us, if you want to watch that way, you can still ask questions because you can see what somebody else is doing, and you have familiarity with the program, so you can ask questions live too. And that's y'all's best opportunity to get with me, because right now my schedule is so incredibly just crazy, and I'm trying to find time to sleep and live and teach. So just imagine that that I want to see you all do your best, and I want to give you all the best tools so that you have something to hit the ground running with. Every time we do a class, you should hit the ground running. You feel me? Like, seriously, these aren't just templates, these are tools. Okay. All right. Oh, that is a good idea to watch from, or the phone, or if you have a tablet or iPad or something like that, something a little bit bigger. It's hard to watch from the phone to do a Photoshop tutorial, but hey, you do what you have to do so you don't slow down your computer. So we'll and I have made this file a little bit smaller, a lot of bit smaller, because this used to be a 2 GB file. I'm sorry, gigabit file. I'm so used to not calling my files gigabits. But yeah, I had so many people that had trouble downloading it and opening it, and then when they opened it, they would just stare at it blankly. So we did a lot to make this more accessible for you, to give you less things to play with and more to focus on executing. And from that, you'll get your confidence up. Okay. And this may be something I start offering as different templates, and I will do that. Someone asked if this would be available as a template. I don't mind doing templates, but the templates have the YouTube videos that are, pretty much me just going through the motions. And if I can do them as a class, I realize that more people tackle it. Like, yes, y'all will buy the templates, but a lot more people tackle it as a class. And then if you don't need the class video because you just know my templates, up and down, and you want to go ahead and rock with it, then you're welcome to still purchase the file and bypass the video. So it works both ways. I'm trying to find time to not do double work. Somebody wanted to talk to me? Hey, E, I think there's an iPhone that's not on mute. Okay. Now, Dee Dee says, I bought several templates and don't know what the next step is. Well, every single template that I sell on the website has a start to finish video that goes with it. As a matter of fact, I make sure I don't even upload templates if they don't have the videos to go with them. Okay. So there is a full YouTube video. Usually it's about an hour long, where I show you how to do everything from start to finish with each and every template. Okay. The classes are a little more in depth because the students are performing the work. So I stop every step of the way for the students and make sure that they execute, and everybody's executing before we move on to the next step. So those videos are like 3 to 4 hours long, but they're a lot more in depth. They show you what the typical user is going to go through, which will be you coming into it, learning something brand spanking new. You won't have to, try to follow me. I know what I did tonight was pretty fast. And a part of that is just me demonstrating. I'm not really giving you a full tutorial, but you can imagine the difference between a class that's 4 hours long and me demoing something for an hour. You're going to be able to see a lot more of the problems you may run into, and you'll do it like, oh, that's what happens when I do this. Okay, now I get it. And that's where you have a lot of these aha moments in the class. Okay. Danica, if you want to purchase it, it's going to be available for purchase as soon as the live class is over with, it will be a $30 class with the template. So the way that I have to do these now is I kind of have to do the do the work one time. So it will be available as a template with the class. It'll be $30 instead of $20 because it will have the full class with it. But you do not have to be an Academy member to purchase that $30 course. However, if you are an Academy member, if you're a $30 member, it will unlock with whenever section number 117 or session number 117 unlocks for you. And then if you choose to do the live class, if you're a VIP $60 member, then you can choose to use your coupon towards the live class. Okay. So, and actually, because y'all are on Zoom, if anybody needs to ask a question. Thanks, Danica. And I will. I haven't put regular templates up in a little minute because I have been focusing on the Academy, but I have not forgotten about y'all. And I have so many templates that are done. I just need to make the YouTube videos for them. So that's what kind of holds me back when I have to do the demonstration videos, because I don't want to say I'm limited on time. I just need to find the time. And I promise I'm going to find the time to start pulling those out. Okay.
Because my skin is dry and it hurts real bad. I didn't put my cream on downstairs.
You got no pictures of me on your.
Okay. All right, love. So let's see. Any other questions? Let's see, Danica, I do need help. The problem with help is that I have this huge problem of not delegating. It's one of my major flaws, and I need I need help with that. So there are some, and I have several skilled people that can help me out. It's just a matter of bringing the resources together so that we can all be on the same page. And right now, unfortunately, I'm doing training for something totally different. So I'm wrapped up pretty much from 9 to 4 with that, helping, the kids with their homeschooling stuff. And then I try to nap. That's what happened today. I got to admit to y'all, I just flat out had a little mini sleep coma. I just fell asleep like out of nowhere. And then when I got up, I was like, oh shoot, I didn't upload the class. I woke up at the time for classes. Something about me, I definitely woke up at 8 o'clock to teach the class. I was like, oh, I didn't upload anything. I didn't show them anything. So I wanted to make sure that this was going to be something that you all could really learn from, get down pat. And I didn't want to rush it, because if I would have uploaded it at 8 o'clock and then y'all tried to do an 8 o'clock class, I think I would have been pushing you too much. So Sunday at 7, we're going to do this class. Even if I have to tie myself to the chair, make sure it gets done. Now I could, so someone asked if I can make it a guide like I did for the t-shirts. What's happening with this new Photoshop is that these larger size files, when they do the tiling, it's messing up. So what I have right now is I messaged Photoshop and told them I want the old Photoshop. So I have my 21 and I have the new 22 version. So the 22 version I'm working on right now crashes when I do some of these large files. When I'm trying to create the tiles from the artboard, like I showed you all with the magic tile. So I'll think about that. I think that would be an excellent thing to do for this, but now this one's going to be too hard to tile with the Adobe Pdf. This one is really simple to print. Now what I can show you is, I don't know, did I mark on my screen yet? I don't remember doing that. Well, let's see, if I go to print. Now I can print as an Adobe Pdf here, change my print settings to 13 by 19 and all of that. But all it would be doing is saving it as a file. So I'll check, since I haven't uploaded this yet, this will be a good opportunity. Let me see how big this file is. So let me save it, see how big the file is, because it could be a good opportunity to print. I'll see. I'm gonna save it. I'll play with it tonight and see if I create those little artboards like I told you about. With the automatic tile feature for the all over shirts. If I do the same thing here, and it doesn't crash. Yes. So Nakia, if you want to do the larger shirts, because the XL and up does crash, and that's what I have a problem with the new Photoshop. So they didn't crash before the updates. So what I have, and I actually had to contact, let me show you. I have 2 Photoshops downloaded, which could be a problem for you too, but they will give you the 2020 version of Photoshop and it downloads through the cloud, but you have to contact them and ask them for the link. And as a matter of fact, let me see. I don't know if I can share it with you all, like if it'll allow me to share it. Let me see if I put a file there. Now it's a huge file too. It's 1.84 gigabytes. It probably will have problems. But what you do is you just contact Adobe customer support and say, hey, I'm having problems with the new Photoshop crashing, and I had 22.1.3. And I didn't listen to Cora's judgment. So Cora was telling me that if I updated it, so I tried to update it to like the 20, I guess the 22. And I thought I would be able to go back and get my 21.1.3. And lo and behold, they changed it. They made it so that you cannot, and as a matter of fact, I'm telling y'all, I can show you better than I can tell you. Let me go to the cloud. And of course, a new version of the cloud is now available. They want me to update. So I have 2 versions of Photoshop. I have the 21 and then I have the updated. So right now I'm in the updated version of Photoshop. Let me see if it still happens. I'm gonna go ahead and close and save everything. Because this does not happen in the other version of Photoshop. This was what, 002? Excuse me. And the biggest one is the, and we're just talking about, I have these Insta Slice. It tiles for you, it takes the guesswork out of it. It's an amazing feature, but it is not working right with the upgrades or the updates that they did to Photoshop. So let me file, open with, this is what I do when I want to make it open in a different program. I go right click, file, open with, and 2020 or 20, not 21. And if you need to do, there is a custom design feature and you can choose the timeline. There's a 1 hour on there right now. Although I do have to tell you, if you need it 1 hour, then make sure that you respond to that email and let me know that it's 1 hour, because it doesn't update me. So plus with the holiday stuff going on right now, it's hectic, very hectic. But it has 1 hour same day, and then I think the next one is 2 to 3 days. So it has different turnaround options for you. But if you go to innatelab.com, you can select the custom artwork. So it'll be on design and print services. You're welcome, love. All right, so let's see. This is, now it also may do something funky because I have 2 Photoshop's open right now. But I'm going to turn off that one and export these tiles and see what happens. So I'm going to export the artboards to files. Something pops up here. And make a new folder. I think this was 21. All right, and I'm just going to name it 13 by 19, then a dash, and save it as a JPEG. Make sure that my quality is turned all the way up. Let's see. See how this one is just blazing through the files? Well, maybe it's not. Oh, it's cropping up top here. It's got a lot of resources running right now. Dang, hold on. Let me close out my other Photoshop. So that's what happens, it crashes on the 22. And the 21, it doesn't. We open with. And it only happens with the bigger files. And I think it's because the new Photoshop really doesn't like doing the tiles like that for the larger files, because it'll do it just fine with the small to large. Let's see. Turn that off. Now this is the older version of Photoshop. I'm gonna see if the same thing happens. Export artboards to files. That wasn't 21. I'm gonna call this folder new. New folder. I'm gonna call this 21 SB. Let's try. Oh, you know what? I didn't do my little settings. Dang, I can't cancel it. Well, I didn't do my settings, what I was supposed to be cropping, but we'll see in a second. But you see how I was running on the 21, but it would not run on the 22. I don't know what it is about the new Photoshop. And when I messaged the people, the tech support for Photoshop, they have no resolution for me. They can't tell me why my old Photoshop can work and do it, but the new one cannot. So I did submit an issue for that, but it just doesn't help us until the upgrade can work. So if you have to get the old version, it's not the old version, it came out May of this year, the 21. So that's the one that I use when I need to do the Insta Slice. Oh, and while that's going, I was going to show y'all that you used to be able to get an older version because you go to other versions. Oh my gosh, they have 21.2.4 now, but that's still, what's the one that I had? 21. I had 21.3, 21.1.3. That's the one that I had. So I could try 21 and see, it says Artboards of files was successful. That's what you're supposed to see. And then when you see that, it pops up in this folder that you created, and bam, there are all your tiles ready to go. And see, I messed up because I made these all PSDs instead of JPEGs. So like I said, this is an issue. The reason why I guess I can make it tileable, but it doesn't have to tile. I just didn't want to set y'all up again where that big a file has to have the older Photoshop. And see, this one, they didn't have this a week ago. They didn't have the 21.2.4. So I'll try it and see if 21.2.4 works and let you all know. And now they got a 22.0.1 they want me to upgrade to. And I'll try it with that. Like I said, if I can try it and it works, then I will. So Corey, when you got on the phone with Photoshop, what did they have any solution for you? Because all I did was I just said, hey, give me version number. I said, I want 21.1.3. And he was like, well, I can't give you 21.1.3 because we don't have the individual levels anymore. I can just give you the 21. And so he sent me that that link to this file that's still uploading. So you'll probably have to message him and get the link yourself. But yeah, it was just too much for something that used to work when it used to work. Let me see. This one says updates available. I'm gonna update my 22. I know I have to close this out, but I know that the Insta Slice tile maker works if you're doing version 21. Okay. And I didn't mean to hold y'all up so late. I know I got on here late and this thing was doing some crazy stuff. I don't know what's going on with the technology these days, but YouTube would not let me do anything. So I need to go ahead and cut this video off so I can upload it for those who are interested in doing this for Sunday. At least y'all get a good heads up. And I'll do my best to start doing these videos ahead of time. Sometimes I don't know what I'm going to do for class until like Friday because I can finally clear my brain of all the stuff that I have doing unrelated stuff. So I do want to do a class on teaching you all how to do your mock-ups from photos. So I think that's going to be the next Sunday class, not this Sunday, but next Sunday. So Corey, did they get it to slice? You said you let them screen share. You let them work on it for 7 to 8 hours. Wow. I need to know how that worked out. Matter of fact, if you can, unmute yourself so I can hear how that worked out.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Corey. So did they fix it or no?
Yeah, I got a slice and I even took the Biden and Harris thing and
Yeah.
made an all over out of it.
So did they tell you what was wrong or what they did?
No, I just told them, look, I don't know what y'all need me to do. Just take access to my screen and just have it fixed before I cancel my subscription. And I wasn't going nowhere. I was just making them believe I was going to leave.
well, that's one way to do it. Then I'm not sure. So I may have to do the same thing. And then if that's the case, I could record what they do for me. But I didn't know they would sit there and do all that. I was just getting frustrated. I was like, look, just give me something that works. This update contains general stability updates. Lord, y'all ain't stable down. I don't have time. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna try the new shiitake mushrooms. I did not mean to update. Well, at least I have my download because I'm updating to this 21.2.4 and then this 22.0.1. Damn, I didn't mean to update that. But Corey, you're right. They control this program. It shouldn't be crashing like that. So if we all get on there and say, hey, this file won't work because your computer keeps crashing, and I know it works because I've seen proof that it works on another version, then that is their responsibility to fix that. And maybe them staying online with you for 8 hours made them fix this 21.2.4. I mean, this 22.0.1. So we'll see. Otherwise, I'll do that. I'll be the guinea pig that'll record the whole process. I just have to get up early in the morning because I know afternoon ain't the time to try to get Adobe nowhere.
Right.
Okay. All right, so LaQuisha, when will the link be available to sign up? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stay up. It'll probably be late tonight, but it definitely will be done tonight. So I'll have the link for the class as well as the resources. So it'll have the font that I use in that file. I'll have that on there for you to download as well. And then it'll have instructions on what you need to have for class. So I'm going to do it to where you only need one photo because I don't want people trying to collage on this one. It just needs to be simple. So you'll need one photo, one mascot.
One photo and not ahead of the class.
Yes, that and so that way we can keep the video to where everybody's on the same same mojo, same task, and you can always work ahead after class. Like after class is done, I stick around for usually about 30 minutes, and then if you have something like amazing off the wall that you want to try and you want to ask me about after everyone else is caught up, then you'll say, well, Shannon, how do I fade half of a face into this other half of face? And I'll go with you after class and show you how to do something extra. But the point is you do the extra after you do the basics. Okay, so I want to make sure that's all clear, but that's it, loves. I don't want to hold y'all up too long because I see some folks getting off and I know it's late on a school night, which I don't even know if that's even relevant anymore. But definitely I'll go ahead and upload this video for you all and upload the course. So you'll be able to do it live for Sunday. And then after Sunday, usually sometime Monday, I'll have the video ready and then I'll make a $30 pre-recorded version of it ready for you all, okay? Thank you, loves. I appreciate y'all dearly. And let me know if there's anything else that y'all want to learn. I'm basically taking your leads. Y'all been asking me about these hoodies. So this is the closest thing I can teach you to doing an all over hoodie that isn't an all over mess. Okay. All right. I appreciate y'all. And thank you, Corey, for sharing that with us because I'm definitely going to try that out. Okay. All right, loves, y'all have a beautiful night. And Erica, I think you have control. So, oh, that is cool. I didn't know I can do that. Okay, so I think that's everything. And we'll go ahead and upload this for you all. All right, love y'all for real. And until next time, bye. Bye.